You had like about 10 seconds. Hey, welcome to BSB TV. I'm Kevin Gaming. I've got with me Deb Salter or Debbie Salter. What do you prefer, Deb or Debbie?
Either or. As long as it's not Deborah, I'm fine.
And obviously, we're going to talk about debt collection today, which is a really pertinent thing. Something that is, when times are tough, something that becomes so obvious that we should be a little bit more focused on this, and that's why we're going to have a chat today. So, Deb, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in the legal industry since I was 20. So for 20 years, I've been working for several law firms, debt collection agencies that are connected to law firms, or law firms that started a debt collection agency and mortgage recovery. So I've got a lot of experience in several avenues and putting the puzzle together of a debt and seeing what a dispute is and which party could be make a settlement offer if there is some sort of dispute to work out the matter as a mediator sort of thing.
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. So great experience with legal organisations. That obviously has you with the absolute right background to know that you're checking all the boxes. So 5 things. We're going to talk about 5 things that people need to know when they're thinking about debt recovery and how they're going to go about that. What would you say those top 5 things are, just really quickly, and then we'll go through them one by one?
Well, number one, so it comes down to billing the right entity.
Yep.
Always. Yep. Number 2 is keeping up to date with your debtors.
Yep.
Number 3 is communication, logging all your communications.
Yep.
And with your customer. And then number 4 would be registering with Creditor Watch. And then number 5 would be, if all else fails, come to me.
Absolutely. Now, so let's go through a little bit slowly. The right legal entity. Now, that's a really interesting one, because surely if, Bill's Plumbing has given me a call, sorry, Bill's Plumbing, but if Bill's Plumbing has given me a call, surely I can just bill Bill's Plumbing.
That's correct, because they're the ones that actually gave you the instructions to do the works or services or goods. But in some instances, I've come across matters where someone's put the invoice in the individual's name. The individual may work for a company or for a business, but they don't personally owe the debt. So unless you've got a signed contract between both parties, so you can confirm the ABN number, then it comes down to look in their signature, their email signature. Maybe they work for like a real estate agent or something or other. Maybe they act on behalf of several properties. So you need to make sure you're putting it under the business name. So the business is responsible for the debt, not the individual.
Absolutely. Point 2, keeping on top of it. Now, it sounds really obvious, but, from time to time, we kind of just let things slide and all that sort of stuff. And one thing leads to another, and all of a sudden we go, oh, my goodness, it's been 6 months and I still haven't been paid for that.
Yes. Oh, and I'm also a culprit of this. So you need to keep on top of your debtors. As soon as you need to put policies in place, timelines. It's the more you do it, the less you will have to chase your debtors. Just either a courtesy phone call or just a courtesy email. Friendly reminder. I put in my friendly reminder emails. I did this for a law firm I worked for. Friendly reminder, your invoice is currently outstanding. Please make payment as soon as possible, or contact our office to discuss. Even just a phone call, the debtor's like, or the customer's like, oh my goodness, I completely forgot about that. Because everyone's working, everyone's trying to make money. They may be a single person, sole business owner going, oh crap, yes, I've got to do that. I've got to get onto it. I'll pay it tomorrow. Sometimes just a courtesy email after the phone call saying, hey, as discussed, you would make payment tomorrow. We look forward to receiving your payment. If you ever make verbal communications with anyone, follow it up with an email, because verbal is hard to prove in court. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. So make sure that you do log that. Look, most accounting software these days has, notes and comments and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But if you don't have that, just put it in your CRM. And make sure it's logged so that you've got all that. Fantastic advice there.
Yeah, the accounting software should have that as well, where you can actually make notes. And you should be able to attach, I don't know if you can attach text messages to them, but if you can make a note saying text message and make a folder in your system, your server or something, saying text message with a print screen, you should be covered.
Fantastic. Which was the next thing? Use the CRM or your accounting software to do that.
Yeah.
Now, this Credit Watch. Tell me a little bit about Credit Watch, because it's something that a lot of people will probably think, oh, that's a bit over the top. I don't need to do that.
It is a very, very important tool. I use it for all my debtors. So if I'm chasing a debtor for someone, I check to make sure how many defaults they've got, how many judgments, have they had an application for wind-up placed against them previously? how bad is their credit? So if you're bringing a new client on board, you need to double check, one, have they got a lot of defaults? Do I want to actually ask for cash on delivery instead of, or change the contract where we ask for 50% off the job up front to cover our labor and goods and all that? So then we're not down the track going, well, why haven't you paid? Yep. Just discuss the changes in the contract. Also, you can actually keep an eye on them in case a default's placed against them down the future, or if they try to actually deregister the company against you that you don't know about, because they deregister that company, it's gone. So,
and then you can't collect your debt.
No.
Absolutely. Which brings us to point 5. If you've exhausted all of those options, then it's time to call a collection agency, Dynamic Collections. Obviously, the one that we'd be suggesting right this minute. But if it's not, then it's time to reach out to a collection agency at that point in time. Credit Watch, just really quickly, is it an expensive tool?
No, depending on how big your business is, they give you specific numbers. So if you want to do, say, 20 searches per month on different companies, it's probably about maybe $39 a month. And if you need to do a new company search to update those details, probably $18.40 per search, and you get alerts. So if anything happens, you get email alerts on either your current and your old. So if you've had someone that was a current customer, you removed them on your alert list, you could get a notification, say 6 months down the track. Say, for instance, you got paid, they've just gone into liquidation, you could get a preferential claim put against you. Oh crap, I need a solicitor now, just in case.
Certainly, and that's something that people forget. They think, hey, I've got the money, I'm okay, Jack. But then there are different situations where there can be a clawback. So be careful for that. So there are our top 5 things. 1, make sure that you're billing the right legal entity. 2, keep on top of stuff. Have a process and procedure about regular follow-up. 3, use your accounting software or CRM to make sure that everything is, all your communication is logged and tracked. 5, use Credit Watch to make sure that you're keeping that you're alert for where your customers are at and your former customers. And 5, if all else fails, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and do that. You actually give a free consultation for people when they're questioning. And I've even called you before, and you say, Kevin, you don't need me yet. You need to do A, B, and C, right? So, fantastic service, and thank you very much for the support there. Thanks very much for supporting Brisbane Small Business. I really appreciate it. I know that you've been one of the early adopters for anything that we've done, basically, and you're saying that's actually worked out for you.
It has, yeah. No, I've actually got a couple of inquiries or a couple of clients on board where I've done exactly the same thing I've done for you, is provided them with the knowledge and experience of what to do before it comes to me. As you were saying about Creditor Watch, you can put a default against them. So if someone has defaulted, if you provide a letter of demand threatening legal action or threatening to go to a debt collector, and it says, I will put a default against you, Creditor Watch will put that default and it will not be removed for 5 years. They will not remove it. So that's another good thing about Creditor Watch, and that's my number 1 point to a client. If you can do all of that in place.
Fantastic. Debbie, thanks very much for your time today. We've gone over a little bit, but that's
okay.
I won't blame you at all. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, Kev.